Okay, so you know that feeling when you're scrolling through the news and another headline pops up about glaciers melting or, the plastic in the ocean.
Yeah, it's definitely unsettling.
It's anxiety inducing for
Yeah.
sure. A lot of
Yeah.
people are feeling it too. Actually, a study in 2022 showed that 68% of young adults like are dealing with this like climate anxiety daily. But what if we could shift that? What if that concern could actually be like a catalyst?
That's what we're looking at today.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to dive into today, these green hustlers. So these are people who are taking that worry, that real fear about the environment, and they're turning it into businesses. And not just any businesses, they're creating solutions, you know?
And get this, a lot of them are actually becoming really successful financially while they're doing it. It's like this win-win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Making a difference and, making a living. So we're going to get deep into this green hustler phenomenon, see who's out there, what they're doing, and maybe even find some inspiration for ourselves along the way.
Right.
Maybe even some ways we can turn our own concerns into action.
Exactly. What I think is so fascinating is that this anxiety, this, eco guilt we often feel about our impact, it can be so heavy. But for these green hustlers, it's like fuel, you know?
Yeah, like instead of letting it paralyze them, they're using it.
Right. Like, look at Sarah Kaus. I mean, she was just like everyone else, frustrated with all the plastic water bottles everywhere. So she decided to do something about it. And that's how Swiswall was born.
Those stainless steel water bottles.
Yeah. And think about it. Those stylish reusable bottles, they've kept something like 40 million plastic bottles out of landfills and oceans.
That's wild.
And yeah, she's definitely seen financial success from it too.
Absolutely. And she's not the only one. There's Boyan Slad, right? He was only 18 when he started the ocean cleanup.
Yeah.
Talk about ambitious. He's tackling the Great Pacific Garbage Patch head on.
That's huge.
Huge. And you know how he got a lot of his initial funding?
How?
Crowdfunding. It went viral. People were like, yes, let's clean up the ocean.
That's incredible. It shows how much people care, There's this desire for solutions. And speaking of solutions, Maria Lopez is another great example. She started EcoEnzyme. And her story really resonated with me because it's all about turning a problem into a resource.
I'm curious. Tell me more about that.
So she was looking at all the statistics about landfill waste, and she was just devastated by the amount of food we throw away. It really hit her hard. And she thought there have to be a better way.
So what did she do?
She figured out a way to pay farmers to take that food waste, the stuff that would normally just rot in a landfill, and turn it into natural cleaners, EcoEnzyme.
So brilliant.
Right, reducing waste and creating these eco-friendly products, and it's working. They're valued at something like $2 million now.
Wow. It's so inspiring to hear these stories. But I'm wondering, is there like a common thread? Like, what are these green hustlers doing that's working so well?
That's a great question, and I think there are definitely some patterns here.
Like a blueprint or something?
Yeah, like a blueprint. So first, they're all focused on solving a problem that people can see and relate to.
Right. Like global warming is scary, but it's kind of hard to wrap your head around.
Exactly. But overflowing landfills in your city or plastic bottles washing up on your beach, that's something you can see.
Hmm.
It feels real and immediate, and people are more likely to get behind a solution to a problem they can visualize.
Makes sense. What else?
They're all smart about using technology and trends to their advantage. I mean, look at Too Good to Go.
Oh, yeah, that app where you get discounted food from restaurants and stores that would have just thrown it away.
Right, so they're tacking into people's desire to save money, especially with inflation these days, while also reducing food waste.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to use.
Exactly, it has to be convenient. And then the third thing I've noticed is that they're all really good at building community. Like, it's not just about the product, it's about the shared values.
Or like Patagonia.
Yeah, they have that whole worn wear program where they encourage you to repair your clothes instead of throwing them away. It's like joining a club of people who care about sustainability.
I love that. Makes you feel good about buying from them, too.
Totally. It creates loyalty. And it spreads the message. And, all this is happening in a time when these green niches are exploding. Renewable energy, sustainable fashion rentals, EV charging stations. It's booming.
Oh, yeah. And have you seen all the eco stuff on TikTok? Like, hashtag EcoTalk is a whole thing now.
I know, right? And people are making money from it, too. Teaching people how to live more sustainably, reviewing eco-friendly products. It's incredible.
It really is.
Yeah.
So let's say someone is listening to this and they're like, okay, I'm feeling that climate anxiety. I want to do something. Where do they even begin?
Well, I think the first step is to really hone in on what I call your green rage.
Okay.
Like, what gets you fired up? What environmental issue makes you angry, sad, frustrated? Because that passion, that's your starting point.
Right.
That's what's going to keep you going.
Okay, so find your passion. Then what?
Then you got to test your ideas. And you don't need a ton of money to do that. Like, Kickstarter is awesome for pre-selling products.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like, let's say you have an idea for biodegradable phone cases. You could launch a Kickstarter and see if people actually want to buy them before you invest a ton in manufacturing.
Exactly. Or you could team up with local businesses for like a pilot program. Maybe a cafe will try out your compostable coffee cups. Get some real world feedback.
Love that. So start small, test your ideas.
Yes. And then you want to think about how to monetize your efforts. Maybe you create an app that rewards people for making eco-friendly choices. Or you could do affiliate marketing for green products.
Oh yeah, like if you're really into solar panels, you could partner with a solar panel company and get a commission for every sale you make.
Exactly. And you don't have to be some huge influencer to make it work. Like those micro-influencers on Instagram, some of them are making good money promoting sustainable brands and thrifting.
That's encouraging. It's like anyone can make a difference, even in small ways. But, there's always this concern about greenwashing. How do we know if a company is really committed to the environment or just using it as a marketing tactic?
It's a valid concern for sure. But the green hustlers we've been talking about, they're not just slapping an eco-friendly label on something and calling it a day. It's baked into their entire business model.
Like Allbirds, they're super transparent about their carbon footprint.
Exactly. They track their emissions, they offset them, they're constantly looking for ways to improve, and they're a billion-dollar company. It proves that you can be profitable and environmentally responsible.
It's all about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly. And being transparent. So going back to that climate anxiety we talked about at the beginning, do you think these stories, these green hustlers, offer a sense of hope?
I think so, definitely. They show that we can channel that fear, that frustration into action. It's about seeing possibility.
Yeah,
Like this is a problem, but it's also an opportunity.
absolutely. An opportunity to create, to innovate, to make a difference.
So for everyone listening, I want you to think about what environmental issue really speaks to you, what gets you fired up. And then ask yourself, could this be my opportunity? Could I create something of value, whether it's a small project or a whole business, that helps solve this problem? Could your climate anxiety actually lead you to a path where you can make a living while making the world a better place?
It's a question worth asking.
It really is. And we hope this deep dive has given you some inspiration and some ideas to get started.
Yeah, go out there and be a green hustler.
And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, this was fun.